Hey guys, it's Gail. I know I've been a little slacking on these live video posts, so I thought I would try to come on now while I had a chance. Hopefully get the lighting okay and everything, but I think we're all right. Anyway, so sorry, my hair's a little wet. I just took my shower, so I'm feeling good. And yeah, so feeling good and just ready to chat a little bit. And so if anyone wants to join in, that's great. But I will go ahead and get started. So the sort of theme of this video is going to be playing off of this little micro I wrote earlier about just how hard it can be for parents to really find time for themselves that's truly for themselves. And it was inspired by a blog post that I had read called The Mad Mommy. And in that post, the writer said how when she does get time to herself, time to go to the coffee shop, or time to run errands alone, or time to go to the gym, wherever it might be, that even when she's doing those things, she is still thinking about the kids, still worrying about what's happening at home. Is everything okay? What else do I have to be doing? What should I be doing instead of doing this? So it's tough because, you finally get this time to yourself, quote unquote, and your mind, even though you're physically away, your mind is not really away. So I wrote a little, I responded to her post, and then I wrote something of my own, and it said basically that, as parents, as adults, that, we owe it to ourselves to sort of find that time, but to make that time truly ours, and that it's not necessarily about getting an hour or 2 hours away or even 30 minutes away. It could be as little as 5 minutes, but to making those 5 minutes really work for us and really be for ourselves. So I wanted to come on here and just share in a little more detail what I try to do to get those kind of treasured 5 minutes. So for me, I took a meditation class, which has really been tremendous for me. I went to this class one time, but what I took away from it has helped me so much afterwards. And it just, from that meditation class, which was, taught, I went to a spa to take it. It was taught by a certified instructor. So I'm certainly no expert, but I think what I got from it, I think we can all use, was that just to learn how to do some deep breathing and some exercises to truly clear your head and to get yourself at a place of peace and calm. And for me, what I do is, I actually am not usually alone when I do this. So let me just say that sometimes even finding the space to find time for mindfulness meditation doesn't necessarily have to be physically away from your kids or anyone. You could be with other children. And I think this is especially helpful for maybe new moms who may not be able to get away. If you have a newborn or, another young child and you are tethered to them, I think this is something that you could still do. And I think that's important. And for me, I still need to sort of be with my youngest as he falls asleep. So what I do is I kind of take advantage of that time when I'm sort of, I guess, tethered with him to have a little moment mentally to myself, even if I can't be physically away. So what I do is, as my youngest is sort of calming down and quieting down, he is at a point where he's basically asleep and, is starting to nod off, what I will do is I will close my eyes and I will guide myself with some breathing exercises where I just take a nice slow breath in, and I let it roll through my body and down through my toes, and then I just take a nice exhale and do the same thing. Just very slow breaths, and just allowing my body to kind of just calm down and just chill out. It's usually at the end of a long day, and I just keep doing my breathing. I take my slow breaths, and I just do this for a few minutes or so. I don't really time it. I just kind of just do it till I feel like I'm in a good place. And while I'm doing this, I try to clear. I let myself clear my thoughts away, and I realize the idea of clearing the thoughts away is not an easy task. Especially if you're somebody who tends to worry a lot, has a lot of anxiety, just constantly wondering what's going on. And I get it, because that's me. I worry about everything all the time. So a great technique that I learned in meditation courses is the idea of to not be afraid to let the thoughts come to your head. I think there's this idea of when you're doing meditation that, you can't think about anything, like that's bad, it's bad. And that's not really productive, because they're coming to you, the thoughts are coming to you, and if you're trying so hard to not let the thoughts come to your head, that's gonna just consume you and make it, the idea of relaxation and meditation and mindfulness not work. So when these thoughts come to your head, because they will, you're going to be, wherever you are, whether you're resting with your children, or you are, you got some moments to yourself, or if you're just taking some time in the car, just, sitting in the parking lot waiting, and you just want some time to meditate, and you got these thoughts come in, and you're like, no, I can't think about this. The best thing that I learned was to let them come in, let the thoughts surface in your mind, let them come to the forefront, and just flick them away. So let's say you are doing your breathing, you're doing your meditation, and all of a sudden you got this thought comes to your head, okay, well, what am I making for dinner tonight? Maybe it's 4:00 in the afternoon and you've got some time and you got dinner to make in an hour or so, and you're like, I got to worry about dinner. Okay, so let that thought come in. Let the thought of dinner come into your head, be there in your mind, and then allow yourself to almost have like a mental fly swatter and just flick it away. And and if they keep coming back, just keep doing that. Keep telling yourself, as the thoughts come in, I'm gonna just flick them away. I got my little mental fly swatter. I'm gonna get rid of them and just allow them to come, and then allow them to go. And what I found is, by doing that, your brain almost gets trained to realize that, all right, this is our time where we're not gonna deal with this stuff right now. And then as you keep doing it, and as you do it a few more times, you find that the thoughts come less and less when you're in this state of meditation, because you have been training your mind to push them away, to flick the thoughts away, and to allow them to come, and then just to come in quickly and go out as quickly as they come in. And as I said, it doesn't have to be this an extended process. It can be just a few minutes, or 5 minutes. It can be a half an hour, whatever it is. Like I said, I find that I am able to do this when I'm sort of getting my kids settled down. Sometimes I will also do it again before I go to sleep. I will just take a few moments to do some breathing and just get myself in the right mindset. Hopefully I've had my phone off for a little bit, and I've gotten rid of that temptation, because we know, when you're kind of looking at the, Facebook before bed, it can also fill your head with stuff. So I put that aside, and, it's not much. I mean, 5 minutes a day may not seem like a lot, but sometimes that's all we get. So if all we get is 5 minutes, then I think it's just important to really make the most of those 5 minutes, and to really let ourselves just relax and decompress, and sort of give our minds a space to just be free and clear. And when you're in that sort of state, it allows you to put forward the intentions that you want for yourself and for your family and for you, and it just helps get us centered into a good place, which I know is not always easy. And yeah, so I think that's probably, my best advice there. And I would say that if you, if you can find the time to do a sort of meditative practice for longer than 5 minutes, then to really try to take advantage of that. I am very fortunate where I go to a really special exercise class, for lack of a better word, which I've talked about here, which is feminine movement. It involves yoga, Pilates, pole, and it is a class that I go to as much as I can. I try to go every week, but sometimes that doesn't always work out. But when I do go to this, my phone's off for a couple of hours, and it's hard because when I go in, my mind is racing. But when I'm there, I really try to just clear my head of all thoughts for those 2 hours. And it's really lovely because I'm just being there and just immersing myself in the music and in my body and in my spirit, and I'm allowing myself to just indulge in real time for myself. And I know others may find this with a spin class or with kickboxing or whatever it is, just whatever, or it might be gardening, or it might be just going for a nice walk, whatever it might be, whatever makes you feel good. Just being able to find that time to just be for yourself and just to clear your head and to allow your mind to have space for the intentions that you want to come in for yourself. And so I think I will sign off here. I think anyone who's been kind of watching on and off, but just want to finish with this, which is just a reminder to take those 5 minutes, do those deep breathing exercises. Remember, just do a nice slow breath in, a nice slow breath out, and allow your mind to become clear and free and ready to receive all the good intentions that you deserve in your life. So thanks, everyone. I hope to be back doing more of these on a sort of more regular schedule soon. I know I usually do Wednesdays. I'll maybe try to stick with that, but I'll come on when I can. And thanks for watching. Bye.